How are you doing today? And welcome, beautiful Seren Stars, to your oracle. I just made that up. Rhetorical isn't a made-up word, but it rhymed, and I don't know why that just came out. Maybe that'll come up in the reading. But oracles, my words are lost. They have goneth. Spiritual bit of everything reading was what I was trying to formulate and get out today. So maybe some of you are a bit stuck for words. Okay, this is a shorter reading, but if you're regular, you know it can go on for up to 20 minutes. And I also say, if you don't feel drawn to a particular reading or card, there are many others to choose from on my profile. Don't just automatically go, you know, when it pops up and readers say, and I can't stand that, and they say, oh, if you've come across this reading, it was meant for you. Well, maybe the channel was, but not every single reading. Okay, so I say, if you don't feel drawn to this one, there are more on my page. There are many more, or there are other readers. Okay, so, you know, if we're being true and honest, and that's how we would guide you. You don't have to pick this reading, and you don't have to stay on this particular channel. All right, that's not how it should work, but I am happy you are here. So thank you, and I thank Spirit for joining us today. So we're going to give these a shuffle. This one came up. Okay, sometimes I pick them from the bowl, sometimes they come out. Okay, and we'll go for that one. So that will be your main reading, main card. Whew, it's quite warm here today, so hopefully the fan isn't making too much noise as I do your readings. Let's shuffle this pack and pick another card together. I like to be as surprised as everyone else about what comes out on these readings. Oh, I'm just going to move. Sorry, my chair may squeak a bit. I'm going to move my chair in. Is the camera okay? Let's just move that a bit. I think that's okay. Let's give these another shuffle. I got this wonderful, oh, that one flew out, nearly set it on fire. Oh my good lordy lord. I have set this card slightly on fire as it flew out. So we're going to go for that one. We're going to go for this one. And this one. This one came out with it, so we'll go for two. All right. So you've got 3 cards now. I feel really bad now. I've burnt my card, but isn't that interesting? You've got those 2 little circles there. Can you see that? It's quite an interesting little double circle pattern there. Let's see if anything comes out in the reading. It's probably just because I scorched it and nothing to do with the reading, but you know, we'll see. We'll see. Right, let's go on. We have these cards, which are lovely, and these are sort of romance cards, but we can use them in our day-to-day readings too. So I was about to say, I got this lovely little pop-up tub. It's a round one that I can put in my shower because I don't have a bath. Oh, and it's a godsend. So if any of you have been feeling overwhelmed in this heat, or if any of you are thinking of getting like an ice bath, you can use it for that. But I had a nice hot bath last night, but today I had a cooler bath, so that was lovely. So I'd highly recommend that for anyone. And if you have long-term sort of pain or anything, it's quite nice because you can slightly float in it as well, because it's quite deep. So you get that lovely floating sensation. You can put some Epsom salts in there, so if you're having any pain as you get older, or you've got any long-term conditions, or maybe you've had an injury, play a lot of sports maybe, you know, it's good to have a good soak in it if you haven't got a bath. I'll pop a picture of it in so you can see what I mean. Which one should I go for? I'm going to go for that one. Okay, let's get started on your reading. Let's move these cards over and get your main cards. Oops. Right, put that back there, that there, and that there. And these ones have pictures on the other side, so we will turn that over. Oh wow, 6 of Autumn. Your success and prosperity have allowed you to pay off debts, acquire wise loans, and receive a grant or scholarship in return for heaven's blessings. Be sure to share the wealth with others through donations of time or money to reputable charities. Okay. I'm just going to sort of breathe in and focus. And today, because I do my readings generally in one day and share throughout the week, they are timeless, so it doesn't matter when you watch them or when I post them. But as I was tuning in today, and as I made my cappuccino today, there was a peace dove formed in my coffee, and that sounds absolutely bonkers. And I thought to myself, I wonder if I get anything to do with birds today. And we have this beautiful kiwi bird here in this feather floating down. The reading before this one, a peace dove. No word of a lie, came out in the reading, and I was astonished. Okay, so we've got more of a bird theme. This is our second bird today. Okay, so what else can you tell me with this reading, please? I feel a lot of high energy with this reading. They're giving me feather in your hat. So we have this feather coming down, but they're putting it in my third eye in a hat or in a cap, okay? Which means you've gained a feather, you've gained sort of something, a recognition. So it could be an award for something. Some of you could be getting an award or recognized in your community for something. We do have here scholarship and about they're giving me stepping up in life and in all avenues and in all kinds of ways. Okay, you would know more than anyone how that would fit into your life, because we have to remember this is a reading for everyone across the globe. So they do also give me different examples. They're showing me this bird running really, really fast. I thought kiwis were very slow. Not that I know a huge amount about kiwis, but it's got this coin in its mouth. So it feels like this abundance. Okay, so maybe you've been kind of lacking. They show me someone putting their hands in their pockets, and their pockets are empty, and they're like looking down in their hands, and they've not got much money at all. Okay, but they're showing me this kiwi. This kiwi's running in and bringing in the money. Okay, so maybe you felt like it was never going to happen, you was never going to succeed, you was never going to get there, you was never going to get the outcome that you were pushing for. But whatever this is, this circumstance around you, they're bringing in the money and the abundance here. Abundance also be, success, prosperity doesn't always mean financially, but you're paying off your debts here, your loans, or there's a scholarship, or there's a grant. Okay, so usually that involves some kind of improvement in sort of your financial situation there, which is great, especially if you've been in lack. I'm seeing the words here and like the visual I'm seeing with the person putting their hands in their pockets and having nothing in their pockets. Okay, I'm feeling quite sad and like deflated about it. So they're flipping me through this visual. I'm seeing this man, you could be male, female, non-identified, it doesn't matter, but having lack and no money. So I'm itching all over. That normally means a surprise when you start itching. I don't think it's a cat hair because it's all over my face. Right, I've just found a little something on me, but this was like over my entire face, okay? It was almost like that cobwebby feeling, like something landing on you feeling. And we do have this feather coming down and landing from the sky here. They also show me an aeroplane flying in and coming down to land, okay? They give me the word cargo. Maybe some of you work at airports or you're going on flights. They're giving me different examples, all right? So maybe with this opportunity there is some travel here, or maybe with this money you're able, or money situation's been better, you're able to travel here. They're bringing in this aeroplane. It's coming down to the word cargo. So it's bringing, again, that's bringing something in, something large and this abundance into your life. I do feel, again, it's more than you ever expected, okay? And this is a little bit similar to the message that they gave in the other reading. Something is coming along more than you ever expected. Okay, let's go on to the next card. We'll go for this one. Enough. May you be exactly as you are. And we have this desert island here. And as I look, they're quite calm waters, aren't they? They give me the words the final lap. Okay. The final lap and arriving. And I'm being shown like I'm on like a float, like a little float boat, okay, in the water. And I'm slowly sailing towards this island. It's normally only the wealthy that can afford these islands. And we've all seen an aeroplane landing, okay? And you'd have to get an aeroplane usually to, or a boat to get to kind of an island in the middle of the sea. It may not be literally, it may be metaphorically, which is often what they show me in messages. But it could be literally that you come from an island, or you're traveling to an island, or island as in Ireland, near the UK if you're Irish, okay? They show me all these different examples here. Give me the words finding your way. What else can you give me with this card, please, Spirit? So I'm sailing through. I'm just going to go with the vision. It's turned into like a canoe now. And now I'm paddling, gently paddling towards this island. They're showing me like metaphorically, it's just to get the message across. And I'm on the island and I'm feeling like the sand between my toes. I'm now taking off my life jacket, okay? And I'm feeling like I have arrived, I have arrived. There's no expectations. There's no expectations here, okay? So maybe many of you felt quite pressured or expecting to be a certain way. Other people put pressures on you to be a certain way. But here I'm feeling, as I'm on this desert island, as I'm standing here, I can be exactly myself and who I am. There is no pressures and there is no expectations. The given there is letting go. So letting go of those expectations others put on you or you put on yourself because it's seen as expected in the world. So they're taking that pressure off here. They're showing me someone taking their foot off the brake, okay? Give me the words relax. So maybe many of you have been go, 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 not living your true authentic selves, not living how you really want to, feeling a lot of pressure. So they're just taking that all off of you, okay? All that pressure off. They're giving me the words don't be so hard on yourself. So maybe some of you are quite hard on yourself, Give me the word blockages and show me that by being so hard on yourself can actually slow down or block your way to success, okay? Because then your mental health's not going to be great because you're putting so much strain on yourself, or trying to be something you're not is exhausting, isn't it? It is exhausting. So I'm going to go back to this vision here on the island, and now they're putting me in this white floaty dress and they're putting a drink in my hand. It looks like a cocktail, but whatever your favorite drink is. And I just feel peaceful and like I can breathe, and I'm dancing around now. They give me the words home, feeling home. Feeling home in your own body. Feeling home in your own life, okay? They show me these outer layers of me as an example of falling away, okay? And being your true, authentic self. They're taking off that mask. Taking off your mask that you feel you have to wear or that you put on every day. So maybe some of you have been, struggling with that at work, going in and pretending you're happy, or in relationships, pretending you're happy, or maybe you're secretly keeping a struggle to yourself, or maybe it could be to do with your identity or your sexuality, whatever it is. They're giving you this space here and showing you that, you can let all that go and just be. You are. May you be exactly as you are. Enough. Enough. Taking away that pressure from you. And I'm dancing on this island of feeling free, okay? So I feel that's very important in whatever this chapter of your life is, or this step in your life is being your true, authentic self. And they're taking off all these pressures and masks you've had to wear, and they're slowing everything down. How lovely is that? And that allows this abundance and takes away all these blockages, or any blockages you may be experiencing along the way. Okay, let's go on to the next card. Acceptance is the key to inner peace. At times, we must accept things as they are. There is no point trying to change that which is beyond our control. And that very much fits into the message of you're enough, you're enough. And the visuals that I was seeing, that inner peace, those layers falling away, that taking away that mask, taking away those pressures. Okay, let's turn this over. And how beautiful is that? I've been given the word freedom of thought, freedom of movement. So maybe some of you have felt quite sort of chained up in your own thoughts, or by others' thoughts and expectations and pressures. And trying to, there's no point in trying to change that what is beyond our control. And acceptance. Accepting who we are can be really difficult, okay? Accepting parts of ourselves. Accepting we may not fit into a particular mold, that others are trying to put us in, or we're trying to fit into. And there is nothing more beautiful, I'm being shown here, than freedom of expression is the words that I'm seeing here. Freedom of expression. And they're giving me this beautiful, peaceful place that you'll arrive at. Okay, it's arriving at that by being free with your expression, being able to express, being able to be creative. Letting go of that control, whether that's you put it on yourself, or these masks on yourself, or pushed upon you by others, or what you think society expects. Be free to be this beautiful angelic being here. Be different, be unique. Be that beacon of light they're showing me here for others. You are, as they've given me before these words in other readings, the trailblazer. Set the standards. Don't follow these suffocating, caging standards or masks or expectations from family or friends or wherever, because that will clip your wings. There will be no flight. Like the birds, these birds don't fly, I don't think. But they're giving you this feather and they're giving you these wings. And I'm seeing an aeroplane. Okay? They're giving me again, reiterating freedom of thought, freedom with creativity, freedom to be your true authentic self. Okay, let's go into the one that got burnt. Page of Swords and Garnet. I will look up what garnet represents. Okay, but we'll see if Spirit, what you can bring in here. We've got the Page of Swords, but they're cutting away these outdated thoughts, these outdated layers of yourself, okay? They're cutting away the chains to free you and to free yourself to be your true authentic self, okay? To be free. They're showing me here. Literally, I'm seeing a chain and this sword coming down and cutting these huge, heavy chains from you, okay? To allow you to fly free. To allow you to be you, your authentic self. Where there is no trying, it feels natural. It feels light. It feels bright. Go to the next card, and you had the black tourmaline, the 9 of Wands. Black tourmaline is very protective, okay? It's a really protective stone. So surrounding you with love, light, and protection here, whatever your endeavors are, or your journey of being your most true, authentic self, or on that journey of cutting away the chains, allowing yourself to be free. What else can you give me with these cards, please? They're giving me the word harbor, and shore, and here we have sort of out at sea, okay? But they're giving me the harbor and shore. What else can you give me with this message, please? Harbor and shore. Your ship is sailing in. They're giving me your ship is sailing in. So also with this, maybe they show me, a double meaning. Two things can be true at the same time. You can feel stranded at times, and you can feel alone at times when you're not being your true authentic self, when you're trying to fit in with all these things or being weighed down. They're also giving me that as an example of a message here, and your ship is sailing in. So your ship is the words that I say, not someone else's ship, okay? Not someone else's preconceived ideas or expectations. Your ship is sailing in, what you want. They show me this man, you could be male, female, and unidentified, boarding this ship, okay? So maybe some of you literally are leaving a certain situation. You may be leaving relationships. You may be leaving friendships. You may be leaving jobs, okay? But they show me this leaving, okay? And part of the journey to being your most authentic self and to being free. No expectations, no pressures, okay? They give me the words blank canvas, okay? And rewriting the story. But as your most true, again, authentic self, they keep repeating that. And they're showing this man at the ship, okay? And he's navigating the ship. So you're setting the direction in your life. But I feel peace with this. I feel peace with that journey. Not to say there's not going to be ups and downs and some bumps and some difficulties or turbulence, okay? But that's so much better that way than to be kind of stuck in a cage or constricted, even though that may in a strange way be comfortable because it's all you know, but it's not. Expansive is the words that they're giving me here. It's not true authenticity. It's not true living as yourself is what they're showing me here. So this man, you could be male, female, non-identified, doesn't matter, he's sailing his own ship and this next phase of his journey. They've now put him in like a sailboat, okay, and he's flipped up the sails and they've got the wind and sails. I think so once you get going and once you set it in motion, get the words plain sailing, being your most authentic self is again not something you particularly have to think about, okay? But being something you're not is draining. It is draining. Or being around people that are trying to fit you into boxes or squash you or make you small is draining, is what they're showing me here in visuals and in words and in feelings. They give me the word universe and expansive and how big it is. Sail free. Set yourself free, okay? You are limitless. Life is limitless. Possibilities. You are this creative being on earth. Set yourself free. Be your most authentic self. And they give me the words breathe. And I'm seeing this ship. And then they're swapping into a boat, okay? So they're giving me these two examples, okay, of sailing and navigating and someone being in control of, their own. But as well, I think with the sail ship, it's more about throwing caution to the wind is the word that I'm seeing here. Throwing caution to the wind, letting go of those fears that hold you back. Be free. Okay. I want to thank Spirit for their wonderful messages today. And I want to thank you for joining me today on this reading. And we thank the cards. I surround this with freedom, authenticity, and love and protection. And I thank you for joining me here today. And I will see you on your next reading. God bless.